Om Shanti. Today is the 5th of August 2022. Let us listen to the Sakar Murli of our beloved Bap Dada. Bap Dada, Madhuban. Essence. Sweet children, there is very little time left. Therefore, do spiritual business. The best business is to remember the Father and your inheritance. Everything else is wrong business. Today's question is, what concern should you children have? Today's answer, how to reform souls who have been spoilt, to liberate everyone from sorrow and to show them the path to happiness for 21 births and to give everyone the Father's true introduction. You children should be concerned about all of this. Today's song is, No One is Unique Like the Innocent Lord. Om Shanti. The Innocent Lord explains the meaning of Om Shanti to you children. He himself says Om Shanti and you children also say Om Shanti. This is giving your own introduction, which is, I, the soul, am an embodiment of peace, a resident of the land of peace. Our Father is also the resident of that place. On the path of devotion too, they say, Baba, Baba. Although people sing this, they follow the diktats of Ravan. The diktats of Ravan spoil human beings. The Father comes and reforms that which has been spoiled. There is one Ravan and there is one Rama. The 5 vices all together are Ravan. Ravan establishes his own kingdom, that of our sitting in the cottage of sorrow. That one spoils everyone and this one reforms everyone. Ravan cannot be considered to be a human being. However, he is portrayed as representing the 5 vices of man and the 5 vices of woman. In Ravan's kingdom, both have vices. You know that you also had 5 vices in you. We are now becoming viceless by following Srimad. We are reforming that which has been spoiled. Just as the Father reforms everything of everyone that has been spoiled, so children too should be eager, just as eager, to reform that which has been spoiled. All human beings continue to spoil one another. Only the one Father reforms everything that has been spoiled. Just as you have been reformed, also have the same concern to help unhappy souls. Only the worthy children can fulfill the eagerness that the Father has. The intellects of you children should be eager to reform that which has been spoiled. Explain to your friends and relatives. Also show them the path. Make unhappy human beings happy for 21 births, because, after all, they are your brothers and sisters. They are very unhappy and peaceless. We are claiming our inheritance from the Father, and so think about how to go and explain to others and give lectures. Go to every home and to the temples. The Father gives you directions. You can do a lot of service in the temples. There are many devotees. People go to a Shiva temple out of blind faith. They go with one desire or another inside themselves. They don't understand that Shiva is their Father. He is praised so much, and so surely he must have done something before he went back. Why do they go to a Shiva temple? Why do they go on pilgrimages? To Amarnath. Brahmin priests and sannyasis take many pilgrims there. That is the business of the path of devotion. They won't be reformed through that. Only the Father, the innocent Lord, comes and reforms everything that has been spoiled. He is the Creator, the Master of the world. But He doesn't become that Himself. He makes you children the masters. However, He is the highest and you are receiving the inheritance from Him. Let it enter your hearts how you can go and show your brothers and sisters this path. You feel mercy when you see someone unhappy and diseased. The Father says, I will now make you so happy and you will not be diseased for half a cycle. You children should also show others the way to the land of happiness. Those who are concerned about doing service will not be able to stay in one place. They would understand that they should go and show someone the path to the land of happiness. Baba challenges you a great deal. If you have fully imbibed the imperishable jewels of knowledge, you can benefit many. There is no need for money in establishing this kingdom. Those people continue to fight and quarrel among themselves by following Ravan's diktats. We are snatching our kingdom back from Ravan. The kingdom of Rama, that is God, can only be received from God, that is Rama. The kingdom of God, that is Rama, begins with the golden age. How can the kingdom of God, that is kingdom of Rama, exist here in the iron age? This is Ravan's kingdom and everyone is unhappy. You can explain this to everyone. First of all, explain to those who are poor and to businessmen. Important people say that they are too busy or that they don't have time. They believe that they are making Bharat into heaven and they continue to make plans. However, you know that no one except Shiv Baba can create heaven. Very little time now remains. You mustn't become slack in establishing the kingdom of Rama. Day and night be concerned about how to liberate someone from sorrow. Let it enter the hearts of you children how to show the path to your brothers and sisters. Everyone now follows Ravan's diktats. The father is the father and he comes and gives you children your inheritance. People go to court and say, I shall tell the truth, considering God to be present everywhere. However, if he is omnipresent, then to whom do they pray? They don't know anything. The father repeatedly explains to you, awaken your friends and relatives. You children have to become very sweet. Let there not be the slightest trace of anger. However, not all children are able to become like that. Maya catches hold of many children by their nose. No matter how much you explain, they just don't listen. The father also understands that it may take time before everyone becomes engaged in doing father's service very well. You also have to have that interest to go to Baba and say, Baba, send me on service. I will go and benefit others. However, they don't say anything. The children's business is to relate the true Gita. There are just the two words, alpha and beta. Baba has explained this method to you very well. The first thing is, what is your relationship with the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul? The name Prajapita Brahma Kumaris is written down below. Baba shows you a very new method and tells you very easy things. Baba is eager for such boards to be put up. Baba gives you directions. The Father is called the Merciful and Blissful One. Therefore, you children also have to become merciful like the Father. There are very big treasures contained in these pictures. They have in them the art of showing you how to become the masters of heaven. The Father continues to show you many methods. He invented them in the previous cycle and has invented them now too. It would touch people that this is something very good. We will definitely receive our inheritance from the Father. Also right, you have a right to the inheritance of heaven. Come and understand this. This is a very easy thing. Simply make such boards and put them up in prominent places. Put up boards in 10 to 20 places. You can also advertise this. These words will touch the children who have become separated from us. They would say, let me at least go and find out what they are explaining. It should also be written, by understanding this riddle, you can attain liberation and liberation in life in a second. The Father says, if you want to create your life, do service. Come to the ocean to be refreshed and then do service. You have been stumbling around for half the cycle on the path of devotion. Here, you have to know the Father in a second and claim your inheritance. It is now everyone's stage of retirement. Death is just ahead. This is the best business of all. All the other business that people do is wrong. Simply do the one business of remembering the Father and the inheritance. Go to colleges and explain to the principals so that those who study there can also understand. You are claiming your inheritance so easily. Remember the Father as much as possible. Acha, to the sweetest, beloved, long lost and now found children, love, remembrance and good morning from the Mother, the Father, Bapdada. The spiritual father says Namaste to the spiritual children, and we the spiritual children say Namaste to our spiritual father. Today's essence for Dharana, 2 points. First point, become very, very sweet. Remove even the slightest trace of anger. Become merciful like the Father and be ready to do service. Point 2, Death is just ahead. It is now your stage of retirement. Therefore, remember the father and the inheritance. Use everything of yours in a worthwhile way to do the service of making Bharat into the kingdom of Rama. Blessing. May you sacrifice even the slightest trace of body consciousness and become exceedingly strong. Blessing once again. May you sacrifice even the slightest trace of body consciousness and become exceedingly strong. Baba explains, the biggest weakness is body consciousness. The subtle progeny of body consciousness is very big. To sacrifice body consciousness means to surrender the slightest trace or ansh and also its progeny, vansh. Only those who make such a sacrifice become exceedingly strong. If you have kept the slightest trace of body consciousness hidden anywhere, if you consider this consciousness to be self-respect, then although you may be able to see some temporary victory, it would be defeat in the long term. Today's slogan, I didn't desire it, Ichha, but I liked it, Acha. This too is the stage of being in a life of bondage. Slogan once again, I didn't desire it, Ichha, but I liked it, it is Acha. This too is the stage of being in a life of bondage. Cha Om Shanti. Today we have three invaluable versions of Mateshwari Ji from the year 1956. First one, the meaning of godly knowledge is to die alive. Mateshwari says, this imperishable knowledge is said to be godly knowledge. The purpose of this knowledge is to die alive, and this is why only a handful out of multi-millions has the courage to take this knowledge. We know that this knowledge enables us to make our lives. Whatever we hear, we become that in a practical way. No sage, holy man or great soul can give us this knowledge. Those people would not say Man Manabhav. Only God can give this direction. Man Manabhav means have yog with me. If you have yog with me, I will make you free from sins and give you the sovereignty of paradise. You will go and rule there, and this is why this knowledge is for becoming the king of all kings. To take this knowledge is an expensive deal. To take this knowledge means to die alive in one go. To take the knowledge of the scriptures is a very cheap deal. There you have to die repeatedly because they do not give God's knowledge. And this is why Baba says, whatever you need to do, do that now. Then this business will not remain. The second version of Mateshwari Ji is, God is the truth, the living being and the embodiment of bliss. The Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul, is also called the truth, the living being and the embodiment of bliss. Why is the Supreme Soul said to be the truth? Because he is imperishable and immortal. He can never be false. He is immortal and eternal. God is also said to be the living being. Living means God also has a mind and intellect. He is called knowledgeful and peaceful. He is teaching us knowledge and yoga. That is why God is also called the living being. Although he is beyond birth and does not take a physical birth as we souls do, God does have to take a body of Brahma on loan in order to give us this knowledge and peace. It is because he is the living being that he is teaching us this knowledge and yoga through that mouth. God is also said to be the embodiment of truth, the embodiment of bliss, and the embodiment of happiness. God is filled with all of these virtues, and that is why God is said to be beyond happiness and sorrow. We would not say that God is the bestower of sorrow. No, he is constantly a treasure store of happiness and bliss. Since his virtue is that of giving happiness and bliss, how could he cause sorrow for us souls? The third elevated version of Mateshwari Ji for today is, the Supreme Soul is Karan Karavan Har. Many people believe that the eternal world drama that is being played out is all created by God. That is why they say that nothing is in the hands of human beings, that the Lord is Karan Karavan Har, that God does everything, that both the parts of happiness and sorrow have been created by God. What would you call the intellects of such people? First of all, it is essential for them to understand that the predestined play of the world continues automatically. It is also said that God does everything. God is said to be Karan Karavanhar. Which authority has been given this name? These things have to be understood. First of all, you have to understand that it is the eternal law of this world and that it is predestined. Just as God is eternal, so this cycle is also imperishable and eternally created from the beginning to the end. It is understood that a seed has the knowledge of the tree, and it is understood that the tree has the seed within it. The two are combined and imperishable. What is the task of the seed? It has to be sown, and the tree will then emerge from it. If the seed is not sown, the tree cannot grow. God is also the seed of this whole world, and God's part is to sow the seed. God Himself says, "I am God when I sow the seed." Otherwise, the seed and the tree are imperishable. If the seed is not sown, how could the tree emerge? My name is God when I carry out my supreme task. My world is such that I, myself, sow the seed of when I become an actor. I bring about the beginning and also the end of the world. I become an actor, that is, one who acts by himself, and sow the seed. I bring about the beginning at the time of sowing the seed, and then there is also the seed of the end. The whole tree then takes the strength of the seed. Seed means to create and then to bring about its end. To bring about the end of the old world and to bring about the beginning of the new world is referred to as God doing everything. Acha, Om Shanti.